Hey guys, it's me again, and I'm back to talk about my intense dream experience that I had where I believed I was actually traveling. And to this day, I'm pretty 99.9% sure I was traveling. Oh, sorry, I got this horrible post-nasal drip, and it is killing me. It is so cold out, and I hope I'm not getting sick, but I've been miserable since last night. Anyways, so I had this intense experience. I have not been lucky enough to experience anything like that since. It was as real to me as making this video is right now. And it was the most crazy, awesome adventure. I was jumping through what I feel were the realms. And a lot of us have an idea of what those realms look like, but I'm here to tell you, they look completely different than what we're told and what we expect. So I did not see Odin, but I did feel his presence, and I think he's the one that was honestly guiding me. And now that I look back and think about it, he's the only one that can really go through realms. They say he goes on Sleipnir. I did not see or hear or feel Sleipnir off the top of my head, but I cannot say he was not there. So it was a very long adventure, a long journey going through these realms. The first, I would say I went through at least 3 of them, possibly 4, but I don't remember much of those. I just remember being there. Like, I remember going through them, and it was fast travel-wise, but my experience felt long. It was insane. Like, I don't think any concept of time that we know could even explain how this works or how it worked. Because when I came to and I remembered a lot of it, I was just like, wow, yeah, that felt like a long time. But when I was traveling, it was extremely fast. Jumping through realms was so fast. The first couple, I don't even remember. But I remember it being fast. I don't think we kind of stayed. We jumped through. Like, we were just going through them. And when I say we, I honestly feel like it was Odin. There was a presence with me the whole time, and he was showing me. He wanted me to see these things. And I swear on all my 5 children, I'm not lying about this. I try to be a very honorable person. You know, my reputation is important to me as a heathen. I would never lie about any of this. This is just my experience. So, I did not see his face. I did not see a body. I did not have the privilege of seeing this amazing, knowledgeable God. I'm even tearing up thinking about it because it was such an intense experience. But I felt him, like, literally around me, kind of like he was behind me the whole time. You ever have that feeling that someone's behind you and you just turn around and, like, someone's there, or sometimes someone's not, but you know someone was there? It was like that, but times a million. It was such a strong, strong presence. Like 110%, I knew for a fact he was behind me. And it's like he was just pushing me through these things, showing it to me. And the first couple of realms, it was just like boom, boom, boom. I don't remember seeing much of anything. And of course, because my experience was so intense at the end, I remembered that the most. I feel like that was meant to happen. So, I remember going through one realm, and, you know, it was significant, of course it all was, but it wasn't like there wasn't anything special going on. He just kind of showed me. And, you know, I remember seeing, like, foliage and stuff like that, and just seeing land and things like that, but nothing happened. But that's one of the ones I remember the most before the last one. When he took me to the last one, we actually, this sounds crazy, but it was almost like falling through the sky. In every dream I've ever had in my entire life, falling was extremely scary. I was falling because I feared death. I was falling fast. I was falling in a very negative way. This wasn't technically falling. This was like coming down, and he was like swooping me down. Like, and it was like I was flying. It was friggin' amazing. It was like clouds. I remember being in the sky, and it was like he was holding me. I didn't feel him holding me, but it's like I felt a barrier to where I wasn't falling. So, I remember coming down through clouds, through sky, and all of a sudden I see this kind of like, what you would envision like Avatar being like a rock with all these pretty jungles and like a waterfall. And you see the water coming off the edge of this rock, off of this island-looking big rock thing. You see water coming down and down and down and, you know, off the end. Now, when I can't remember exactly if there was ocean around, like water around the island, or if that was just sky. I really can't remember that part. But I remember him kind of bringing me down, and as this water is going down, part of the rock wall cliff area, there was like a little bit of landing spot, you know, with like foliage and like fern looking things and stuff like that all over. And as this water was coming down to that part, it pulled off. It kind of came off and pulled into an area. And it almost looked as if it was like a puddle more than like it wasn't like a big enough to be a pond. It wasn't fancy. It wasn't, you know, covered by stones or like any of that stuff. It just pulled off of this waterfall. It came down, and as it was going down, a little area kind of pulled. And I remember kind of like going down to look into the water, and I remember seeing something, but I couldn't tell what it was, and ripples coming from it, like, you know, circular ripples coming off of it. And I went to go like put my finger and touch it, and as I barely touched the water, like my finger touched the very top. The second that happened, I was like pulled away, like, whoa, you know, you can't touch that. And I don't even remember when I came to. I don't know if that's when I came back. I don't know. I can't remember if, you know, I don't think I like flew off or, you know, if I was pulled anywhere else. But that was what I remember. And when I woke up, it felt like it was the longest journey. It was almost like when you go on a vacation, and while you're on vacation, of course, you know, it's kind of fast and fun, and it's a fun adventure, but at the same time, you come home and you're just kind of pooped. You're like, oh man, that was a long vacation. I need a vacation from a vacation. That's kind of how I felt. It was insane. And that experience to this day was one of the most important, most, what I feel, I feel that I was very privileged, and there's a reason why I was shown these things, and there's a reason why I remembered, because, you know, when I trance work, I do remember things. When I sleep, I barely ever remember things. I'm lucky if I remember my dreams sometimes, but this was very detailed, and it felt so insanely real. There's just no words I can put into this. And, you know, immediately I turned to my, at the time, kindred and my friends and my kith, and I told them about my experience. I even drew a picture and showed one of my dearest friends, my brother. I showed him what I saw. I drew a picture, and it's still as vivid in my mind as it was the day it happened. And it's funny because, like, my memories are really crappy. I can't remember what I did yesterday. I can't, you know, I've gone on vacations that I loved and experienced, but I still can't envision like I did with that experience. And, you know, we've contemplated, I've talked to my kith, and we've contemplated, you know, what it could have been. What could it have been? The well of Erd? Could it have been this? You know, could it have been Odin's eye that was in there? You know what? Like, honestly, I don't know. And that was also around the same time that I was getting a lot of visions, and 2020 was really hard on a lot of us, but let me tell you, man, like, knowing what was happening before it was happening was extremely scary. And there were so many times I didn't think anyone believed me, and then after the fact, I was like, ha! You know, like, you think I'm crazy now. And I still have that happen once in a blue moon. It doesn't happen as often anymore, and I'm wondering if that's why he was showing this to me, and that's kind of what led me on my path to learn Saith and to learn how to work with my seeing abilities and my energy work and stuff, and it kind of pushed me into it more. It was more of a confirmation that I'm supposed to be doing this, and it kind of sucks because I haven't been able to have a good trance or a good premonition in a while, and sometimes it just happens when I least expect it, like when that condo fell in Florida. That was the last one. So a couple months ago, I had a dream. I was actually sleeping, and I had a dream that my house fell in. My bedroom fell in with me in it. Everything just fell in, and it was extremely scary because when I have these, you know, it feels really real to me. And, of course, I woke up. I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, it's just a crazy dream, you know, because sometimes people have crazy dreams, whatever. And, you know, I didn't think nothing of it. And that next morning, we went to, the morning after my dream, my mom and I and all of us went to Firehouse Subs, ironically. So people found that was ironic that we went to Firehouse Subs too. I think that was my idea. Me and my mom brought that up. So we went there, and they had, you know, the TVs with all the news going on. I don't watch the news. I'm not interested in the news. I believe it's like bad juju. I don't like it at all. I don't watch any of that stuff. Probably because I'm an empath. I don't like to see all that negative stuff. So we were watching the news. There was something crazy going on. And, you know, they were talking about, like, canine dogs and rescue dogs and stuff like that. So I was watching it because, you know, I love dogs and different dog breeds and stuff. I'm into that stuff. I'm watching it. And I found out that that's not what they were talking about. They were actually talking about the canine rescue dogs that were rescuing these people and searching for these people out of this giant condo building that just collapsed with God knows how many people were in their beds in their homes when this happened. Many were not found. Many died, obviously. It was very tragic, and it was a big thing. So I saw that, and then it just kind of came to that I was dreaming about the collapse of the condo. And I get a lot of stuff like that. Sometimes I get images or pictures. And if I work with people, I've done energy work with people, I get pictures of their faces. Sometimes I will, as an empath, I will feel other people's pain, other people's emotions. And if I don't know where it's coming from, because it would happen a lot at work, in my workplace, which my coworkers know about this. I would just kind of concentrate until I was told, and I would get a picture of someone's face and I knew exactly who I was like drawing energy from. It didn't happen quite often. I was not lucky enough to know, so it's kind of being tortured. But yeah, so that was my experience with the well. I believe it was one of the wells. I'm not quite sure which one, but I'm pretty sure we have an idea. And I think it was his way of telling me that what I'm doing is what I'm supposed to be doing. It was a confirmation. It was basically being backed up by one of the most magical, all-knowing beings that I follow. That inspires me. I actually have been scared to work with Odin because I heard he demands a lot. And he could be very difficult and tricky to work with. But having that experience just lets me know that I'm kind of going in the right direction. This is who I am. This is who I'm meant to be. And that's just that, because, you know, I've questioned myself, as many of us do. I've questioned my practices, and I've questioned if I do enough. If I don't do enough, what should I be doing? How should I be doing it? But that just definitely confirmed in my soul and in my heart that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So, thank you all for watching. Sorry for making such a long video, but I do hope that you stay and you get to watch more. Cheers.